hey, I know you
Hey,
for
I'm so excited.
I know me too. It's so silly. I'm like, we could talk about everything. Like there is
Literally,
so
literally so much.
but can you tell the people who are you? How are you involved with music? What do you do?
Oh, wow. Okay. So I'm very awkward at this. Um, but so I'm Alyssa, Prince. I should probably say my last name, I guess. Um, and I started doing live painting, which is where I met you, my first year live painting, at summer camp.
I
And we
was
were matching
wondering.
outfits.
I couldn't remember if that was your first year there or
I
not.
looked it up today. It was 2015. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, I knew
I
it was
know.
2015 because it was my only year volunteering. So, like, for me, like, that
Right.
year sticks out, because that was the year
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I volunteered. But I was like, well, if
Yeah.
she had done it a bunch already, then
Yeah.
maybe it wasn't as monumental for her.
I want to move my little guy because I tend to look at myself. I wish I could move myself. How do
I
you do that?
know, I hate it. I do
I'm
the
like, I want him over by the camera. So it looks like I'm looking.
right.
And they're like, oh. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm Alyssa. I'm kind of a spaz sometimes, but
Why we
uh,
gravitated to each other.
I immediately. So yeah, and I started as a live painter, and now I do costuming and character art for. Well, I basically do the concepts and characters for roaming characters and festivals now, because I also am a seamstress, and somehow I tumbled into that.
Which is the
So yeah,
cool. And I don't really
it's
know,
fun.
like, how there can't be that many people doing that, right? Like,
Actually,
like,
there's kind of a lot. So I have my own production company now. There's a few like regionally. There's not a lot. Um, but like around the country there is, but
yeah,
I
there's
tend
like
to collaborate.
right?
It's pockets, right? So and everybody has their own like kind of their own style and character style and everything like that. So that's kind of how we basically do proposals, pitch our ideas. I tend to over pitch ideas and they kind of like pluck what they want.
We
um
all this. And
Yeah, I was like, I literally just did Lost Lands. I pitched 4 and I only got 1. It was first year for Lost Lands. I wasn't expecting to get literally anything in, to be honest. But I was like, here's 4.
yeah.
For no reason.
Is that where
Yeah. So
the ammonite, am I saying that right?
yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that
Or
where
amylite if they're like sparkly because they're crystallized. Yeah.
so that was at Westlands?
Yes.
Tight. So
That was a whole thing. It was fun though.
oh
Worth
it
it.
you shared that progress of your work. I was just like, Jesus, like that is so much.
Yeah.
So much.
So they were supposed to be portable inflatables.
Um,
And I was working with somebody who knew how to make them, and then I learned a lot about how to make them, and I was asking questions and they weren't answered. So I pulled it and I said, you have one option. I can either do it with foam or we pull it, save for next year, or you tell me I can trust this guy.
yeah,
And they were like, just do it your way. It's like, okay, here I go.
perfect.
Yep.
That's so cool.
So
So how
yeah.
many festivals have you done like doing that so far?
Um
A lot?
by myself with my own. So with my own company, I've done 3.
Okay.
Before that though, I've been doing it for about 5 years. So I've done, let's see, this is my 5th year at Forest. Before that was with the prior company that I don't work with anymore. And then I've also done Organ Eclipse, Lightning in a Bottle. Eclipse Fest was insane because it was just insane. It's an eclipse festival. Like the eclipse doesn't wait for people. Like the moon isn't gonna wait. So
Great. That's so cool.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what went on at the Eclipse Festival? Was it witchy shit?
Uh, it was so fun. It was literally the most amazing festival I've ever been to. Mostly because people just had to like come together and figure it out. Wi-Fi was completely out, even between production trailers. They had nothing. It's symbiosis. We figured it out. It was supposed to be a 40,000 person festival is how many like tickets were sold. But there was one road that went up and split like a Y. So like the one-way artists, went around in our because they like shuttled us in. And then the other way was, supposed to be like GA general admission or just like anyways, people, people
Yeah.
just like going to the festival. So uh they turned somebody around in an RV. This is what I've heard. I allegedly, but I also saw the crash. So it fell off the cliff,
Oh,
right? So they stopped turning people around. Yeah, it was very bad. So they stopped turning people around. They let everybody up that made it up the mountain, and they opened up the artist way. So it was like all admission both ways. So it was a 13-hour wait in line in a
what?
shuttle from the bottom of the mountain, not even counting like the 6 to 7 hours we got from the airport there.
Oh my
So
gosh. That's
yeah.
wild.
Yeah, and they just let everybody in. So it turned from 40,000 people to 100,000 people. So it was just like haywire.
What?
Like,
Yes,
but it
that's
was the most,
wild.
yeah, it was crazy, but best art ever. It
Yeah.
was so worth it. 8 days, like you're just like out
8
there. And it
days?
was,
What?
I was on site. I was on
Oh,
site for
right,
8 days.
right, right, right.
7-day
Wait,
festival though.
what?
So yeah,
7-day festival. Where's that?
that one. Well, it's wherever the eclipse is.
Right. But
But that
was
year it was
where
Oregon. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it was in Oregon, on it was like a plateau. I wish I could remember the name right now. I could
So
probably look it up,
essentially
but
every
yeah.
time there's an eclipse, these people gather.
Yeah, the last one I think was in Chile.
Whoa.
They just did it. Um, and I wanted to go to that one. But that was during the pandemic. So obviously that was a whole thing. If you
Yeah.
want to go, you drove and you weren't flying. And
Yeah.
I have a toddler during the I like literally had like a 1-year-old maybe during the pandemic. So
Dude, that is
yeah,
that it's a
yeah.
different breed, those new babies. You know what I mean? Like it's
Seriously.
wild. I had
It's
West
wild.
2 weeks before everything shut down.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
insane. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah. And then you're like, what can I do? Like, what can I do with this?
Right.
Like, I
Literally
can't
nothing.
take him outside.
Not even in the park.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
nowhere, anywhere human contact happens. And then, like, everyone's like panicking. And I'm like, but she needs germs.
Yeah, her immune system is not gonna work, people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
It's crazy. That's why I just let him eat
Yeah.
dirt. And I was like, whatever. Like you gotta get germs.
Right. You'll figure it out.
I was
It,
mostly scared that he was not gonna know how like because he was with just me for so long. That I was like,
that's exactly what I was afraid of. The social skills. Yeah. But now she's too social. So I'm like, maybe I
yeah.
should. Like she's just like me. She just overly talks.
He like discovered that there's this whole world out there now.
Yep, yep. Yeah, she started going to school now. I feel like I'm just constantly arguing with a mirror of myself. And I'm just like, this literally isn't fair because I know what you're going to say, but you're not wrong. What else are you supposed to listen?
Right.
So,
Like, how could I be mad? I understand
yeah,
where you're coming from.
yep, that's a great argument, but you still need revenge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
classic. Damn, I
yeah.
can't get over that eclipse festival. Now I need to seek these things out. I didn't know it was a thing.
Oh, it's Symbiosis runs them and it travels the world. It's wherever the full on, yeah, wherever there's a full total eclipse. This was the first time, or in North America, I think it's like every 33 years or something like that.
Yeah.
35 years, something like that. So
Wow.
like,
That was
yeah,
2019, right? Or 2018?
that was 2017,
17.
18, 18. Yeah.
We watched it. No, maybe it was a different one. No, we would have seen the same
You know,
one.
it would have been the same one. If you
Uh,
were, I think it was also visible in like Tennessee.
Wyoming and yeah.
Yeah, it was like that little strip across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we watched it on the roof of the school I worked at. But I would have
That's
been,
awesome though.
yeah, it was cool they did that.
I was bawling just trying to find my costumes. I was like, where are my people? There's so many people.
So what were your people dressed as for that one? Like moons?
Nope. So they brought out the Balians,
Oh
which
yeah,
was my first, yeah.
I
And I
remember
changed
that
their
one.
wigs and I gave them crystal eye contacts. Yeah.
I remember
That
that.
was my first costume I ever did. And yeah, so then they brought them up for Eclipse. So
I
they were
can't
just kind of like revamped.
that long ago.
That's
Like,
crazy. I know. I like keep getting like, it's like this was 6 years ago. I'm like, what's happening?
Uh,
Yeah.
well, either like the veil is disintegrating or like the matrix is glitching out.
Yeah, or all of the above, just
Yeah.
smashed into one. And plus all the moons and retrograde and all that stuff was happening. And I was like, I want to take responsibility, but there's a lot of moon stuff happening. So it's like chaos for everybody.
Yeah. Oh shit. So what was your favorite festival so far? The Eclipse one? Or like is there music there? It's a 7-day
Oh
festival
yeah.
and there's all the art.
Lots of music.
What kind of
Yeah.
music? Like more
Um,
spiritual or like
so
EDM?
there's all different stages. Yeah, there's a lot of like EDM, but there's all the different genres, but they also had jam bands. It was just like, it was
Cool.
very like,
Eclectic.
there were so many stages. Like, I don't even know if I made it to all of them. Like, I literally don't know.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I need to be there next time,
Yeah.
wherever it is, if it's in.
Yeah, this one was crazy. It wasn't all the way around a lake, and we didn't know the walk was as far as it was to like the eclipse location, like where it was like the viewing point location. Um, but all my performers were mad at me because I made a call time at like, I knew they were going to be late, but I had to make sure they were on site. So I called it for 5 a.m. because the eclipse started at I think that we started the parade, like leading the parade into the eclipse viewing area at 7:30. So if I gave them a 5 a.m. call time, at least I could check and make sure they were in their tents, like on site. And then they're all ticked off of me, but none of them made it there till 6 to
Yeah.
get dressed. So yeah, I was like, I planned ahead just for this.
And
then
wouldn't you
and
rather like have an hour or two to like become a human before you like
right,
interact with people and stuff?
right.
Get
So I
dressed.
figured if I made it earlier, they would at least be on site so they
Yeah,
could like wake up and get their shit together. But
totally.
like, yeah, they weren't happy with that, but it worked out because an eclipse isn't gonna wait. So
Yeah, exactly. It's for you, you're screwed.
yeah. Yeah, we had another group there, but that wasn't my design. That was a past design from the same production company that I worked with.
Oh,
Um, yeah,
that's
so
great.
yeah, it was fun.
What
It
were
was
the
good. I think
what,
my
oh,
wait,
sorry.
what? I don't know.
I was gonna say, what was the other group's costumes? Are there?
They were like Rococo style. I'm gonna dim this thing. I got a ring light, but I don't know how to use it. I only use it for my art stuff. It's actually a really nice light just for doing
Yeah,
art. Like,
yeah.
I don't even film anything, but I feel like it's like super bright on my forehead. It's
What
kind of
does help
blinding.
like capture art and stuff? Like my friend does tattoos and she has one, or she was using one for a minute for like taking pictures of the tattoos when they were done, or just for like
Yeah,
looking at it while you're working on it, I suppose. I don't.
right. Yeah, I mean, that's literally what it helped me with when I was carving those shells. I was like, actually, I thought like I was more working as a light, and I was like, oh shit, maybe I should film this than anything. I was like, dang, I should get more of these. It's better than having clamp lights everywhere that I literally drop and lose and
Right,
crinkle up.
right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah. The lights are always an issue, I feel like. The clamp ones
yeah,
suck. Like they were handy, I feel like back in the day, but now
yeah.
there's so many.
Now, and they don't screw on as well, and they just do that
Right.
spinny thing. And
Mhm.
I'm just like, I just want it to stay together. We're requesting one thing, and that's the light just stays together. It doesn't pull down to crash the light bulb.
Yeah, they used to be made proper at least. I think like maybe with metal, and now they're made with plastic.
Yep. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right about that.
Do you hear him?
Wait, what?
Do you hear him? He's screaming. The child
I
is.
can't hear him at all.
Oh, good, good. Because
No, literally can't. I just also launched my earpod. So
oh,
earpod, whatever it is.
I don't
I went like this and was like, gone.
know. I
Yep.
wish my shit would have worked. That's always so much better when you can hear. Can just
Oh,
hear
I just heard that one. It's okay. I'm so used to it.
banging on the door.
Yeah. Mars literally comes in here and will, if I'm on a call or anything, she'll like stand outside the door and knock on the door like, mom, mom. And then when she gets in, she just like talks over me in any
Yeah.
call I'm in. And she just like makes some of their friends. And I'm like, okay, Mars, I'm like actually trying
Yeah.
to have a conversation.
This is
Yeah.
my call,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. Also, do you know anything about the air permeability of fabric? You absolutely do not. Go out of here, 3-year-old. And she's like, ooh, inflatable. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the last time I saw you, as you were telling me that you were expecting Mars. Is that the last time
I
I
think
saw
so too. Oh, actually, because I found out at summer camp.
you? Yeah.
Yeah, in the artist porta potty. I like
I'm
snuck
so
off.
excited. I was so
Oh, yeah, I was so sick. And
yeah.
I was like,
Oh
why do I feel like crap? And it was like 100 degrees that year.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it was terrible. And I
Yeah.
was just like, I'm dying. And my paint belt isn't fitting. And my paint belt has never not fit.
Right.
So, like I know, like I literally have it in a knot to where it's supposed to fit. And I was like, something's wrong. And then like Colin was going to the grocery store for all the artists, in the gallery at the time, was like, here's all these grocery lists. And I just like slipped in the middle pregnancy test. He calls me from the store. And he's like, what? And I was like, don't worry about it. Just like pick it up.
It's fine.
And then I was like, don't worry about it. I'm not going to tell you anything until I like know more. And I like went to the porta potty. I was like, came back. I was like, well, we need a hotel for the weekend because I'm going to be throwing up.
It's way too
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah. It was so hot. I was literally dying. It was so bad.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember you're like, I was like, how are you doing? And like, haven't seen you in forever. And then you're like, I like, it was something along the lines of like, I'm so shitty, but I'm perfect. You know what I mean?
I feel
We're so
horrible.
sick.
Yeah.
But you're
Well, and I was like,
so excited.
yeah. When I was like, honestly, I didn't want to drink whiskey anymore, which is a lot for me. Like, I was like, this
Right.
tastes bad. Like, everything is weird right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't stay awake. Like, there's no way. I'm exhausted.
Yeah,
And
I remember
I,
you saying that. You were so tired.
yeah. And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. So then I was like, oh, I'm going to paint for Tipper and party. Or I was like, I should probably check first, though.
Yeah.
And then I did. I was like, this makes sense. This makes
Yeah.
so much more sense.
Class.
Yep.
That was kind of how I found out with Weston. I was like, well, I had gone. he's you hear him? He's so loud.
He's like, me?
I had gone to Humphreys the week before, but like I'm never, especially at like town stuff, like that's not a festival. That's something where I'm like driving back and forth so I could still hang with my family,
Right.
go to the shows or whatever. But
Yeah.
still, like I had gone to Humphreys the week before, but I wasn't even late at that point. And then it was like 4 days
I
later.
wasn't either.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
I
like 4 days
literally,
later I was late.
yep,
And
poof, it
then
was just
I was
gone.
going to Beanstock Music Festival and I was like, okay, something's weird. I should probably
Something's weird. Yeah, that's exactly how it was. And I was like, ugh. And then I had Forest right after that. I was like back to back.
Oh
But
no. And
yeah,
that's like
I
such
looked,
a hard time because like hormones are everywhere and
yeah,
you're exhausted the whole time.
yeah. And
Like
that's still when like the old production company I worked for ran Braid Maids for Hanger. So like we had 60 people on site that I was like managing, as well as like there was an extra like I think almost 40 on top of our two roaming troops that were two different locations. And I
right.
was just like walking between like RVs, like trying to dress people, like just puking. It's like, and I look like I was the most messed up person. Everyone's like, that girl's
She
going way too wild over the
played.
weekend. And I'm just like, I don't do anything.
I'm
Like I literally go to bed. I just, it's so hot
I'll
and I'm just
just be
throwing
on
up
his
everywhere.
dick right now, so you know.
Seriously, like it was bad. Like other groups were just like, huh? Like, what is this? Is this girl okay? And I'm just like, I swear I'm pregnant.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, I have totally been that person too, who's like hungover as shit in line at summer camp waiting to get in.
100% have
You
done that as well.
know?
I understand where their thought was because I did not look okay. But
Like
I also,
I see what you think, but
yeah, right. Yeah.
damn.
Ugh,
Well, and so
yeah.
you still did all that? Did you work the whole time or like when did you cut
Mhm.
it off? Yeah, you worked all the time.
Yeah, no, I worked all the way up until, and I was also a seamstress at for a company that makes like bridal skirts and bridal wear and stuff like that at the time. So yeah, I worked all the way up until I basically had her like a week before I stopped. Yeah, that's about it. And then I ended up working tech after that. Yeah, well, because I was like doing graphic design jobs on the side after I had her like
Totally.
from home. Yeah, and
So
then
it
they
was
hired me as their
it wasn't
marketing person. I mean, I really like coding and I really like that side of things.
you know
Um,
code, what the fuck?
yeah, I have
Learn all
my
this.
parents are tech people. So like I grew up with it. Like they both work HP, IBM,
Oh, cool.
like
My
all
friend's
of that.
HP.
Yeah, so like they my entire life that's what they did. Like my dad worked on like the accounts for like Lego and like Disney and shit like that. So yeah, crazy shit. But he does hardware, my mom does software. So I got to learn like both sides
The
of
yin
it.
and the
I don't
yang
know.
of the
Yeah.
computer world. That's
Yeah. So
crazy.
I
So
know. So it wasn't hard for me to pick up. Like I literally don't know that much coding. I can read code better than I can write it. That's for sure. And
interesting.
there's so many different types of code now. But yeah.
Well, so you use like computer programs for some of your art, right? Because I have
Hmm.
digitally
You do.
art. Is that what you would call? How do you? Because there's
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, it's digital. It's digitally, it's like a digital painting. I use Procreate.
okay.
So
I
it's
wasn't
like
sure if it was
Apple
like a
Pencil.
thing that you had done and then like added, like added digital aspects to it, or if it was all done digitally.
Which piece do you have? Do you have
It's
do
like
you have the genie?
no, it's like the hand on the tummy.
Aha. And that was actually a painting that's hanging out there. That's the painting that Colin won't let me sell. So that one, but then so I did digitally, like I took the photos and I had to like obviously make it like look the same and match it and whatnot. And then I did touch ups at the time with those with like by hand and then sealed it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm like, I don't know anything about anything,
The
but
hand on the tummy. I'm like, that was my thesis show that my parents walked into and was like, look, Alyssa, it's like all sex. Like, ta-da! Yeah. So I was like,
I'm a
sorry. And then
grown up.
yeah, well, and she also, well, she invited like the most religious part of my family and
Oh,
shit like that too. So, and like the whole premise of it was like, so there's a theory. So like, there's the Jouissance theory. It's based off of yeah. Okay, ready?
yeah. I would. I was like, I can.
Okay. So there's the pleasure and pain principle, which
Mhm.
is like Freudian Lockham
Yeah.
came up with it. But it's also like backed by science saying like the same nerve endings that pleasure affects, so does pain, right? The Jouissance theory um is basically talking about how that affects, sex and like your state of mind during sex and how you get attached to that.
Oh,
And how like depending on how much, because there's a certain point you can hit so much pain that it starts turning to pleasure
yeah.
and vice versa.
Yeah.
So then a woman came in, her last name's Kristev, and she was Russian, I believe. And it's called the jouissance of the other, which jouissance is a French word. It's not translated to
It's like a
English. I tried. Yeah, I tried. It's not. It's one of those ones, all encompassing thing that we literally can't explain.
yeah.
So she says, well, you guys didn't, so these are men that are doing it. So she came in and was like, you didn't even consider women. So we have a higher pain tolerance because of being childbearing, which is why we have a higher pleasure. It's harder for us to reach that point,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
that's why when we reach that point, we get a little bit more locked into that and more oxytocin is released. And
Cool.
yeah. So
I dig it.
then then I painted sex and I was like, sorry, mom. Ta-da! It's like it's photorealistic. Don't worry about it.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's so cool though. And like, so how did you hear about that theory then? in order to apply it to your art? Like, were you learning about that in another class or something?
So yeah, I went to school for painting, and then I had this really awesome teacher. His name was Andrew Henlick, and a lot of the other teachers didn't like him. He was a professor, I should say. Whatever. But he was like also like not too much older than us and was giving us a lot of, he was definitely a socialist, kind of a Marxist, like just like showing us all the things that they wouldn't normally show us.
Yeah.
And he had brought up, he got talking about like Freud and Lockham, and because they cross over a lot with um Dolly. It's like that same time as like Dolly and like the modernism and whatnot
Yeah.
like that. So a lot of that thought and like the authors or like the artist signature, which is like you don't have to sign a painting, they just know it by your style, which is like Pollock
Yeah.
kind of things.
Yeah.
Um, so they I don't know, I just started researching and I was like, I want to do something about women experiencing sex. I just like full deep dive. And then I like talked to him about it and he kind of like kicked back and was like, you should look into this. And which he brought up the jouissance of the other, because I found the jouissance theory.
Right.
And he's like, you should go from the other if this is what you're going for. And then I read the Christev. They're like papers, journals, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Fancy fucking research things that they do as
Yeah.
people that are smart and fancy.
It is science.
Yeah, I read a lot. I'm not very good with words.
Love it.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to give me some like reading recommendations for sure, because I think we
I
probably.
just like learning random things. I'm not good at like full books and stuff like that.
I
I'm good
always
at
feel like I
papers.
skip around. I wind up skipping around books. So like what I
Same.
don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I don't really buy
Choose
like
your own adventure. Choose
like
your
oh
own
no,
adventure. Yeah,
no.
what happens? Go to the last page.
But
Yeah, I audiobook a lot.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
Well, yeah.
And I go to
I could
yeah,
get through a book when I do audiobook for sure. But when
right.
I fall asleep
The,
every time I read. Like every time I read.
same.
Like
Same. It has to like really get me like completely locked in for me
yeah,
to
and
fully
then I'll
read
be
it.
reading like in the afternoon. But sometimes, like if I'm
Yeah.
reading in the afternoon and it's something that I'm into, I'll stay up. But like if it's past 7 and
Yeah.
it's not
You're
like
just- yeah.
enthralling, just
Like done. Yeah.
yeah. And
That's
it's
when I watch my murder documentaries.
oh my god, all my friends do that. I'm like, how do you do that? How do you do that? Like I would not be able to sleep. I'm such a wuss.
Oh, I don't know what it is. It calms me. I'm just like, it's fine. Things are burning elsewhere worse than my whole life.
Look how bad it could be.
It could be worse. Look at and like I'm literally trying, but I can't watch in front of Mars, so like I have to like stay up late to like watch that stuff. So like,
That makes
yeah,
sense. Yeah,
yeah,
that's funny. The way we
yeah.
manipulate our lives to
Yeah, I'm like, it's fine. At least I'm not a murderer.
this is
Ta-da.
a step in the right direction.
Exactly. Yeah, it's
God, in this
better, I
day
guess.
and age, it's hard to even know. I'm like, what's happening? Like half the time.
Yeah. And I don't know, I like the psychology of that a lot though. I
Oh,
like it when they like do like the reading of like, so this led up to this and this led up to this
yeah.
and like not yeah, and like where the psychology of them all came in.
I think for me,
But
like the dark, like music that goes along with these shows and that, you know what I mean? Like it does the
yeah.
piano
Yeah, I know where it's
thing.
like the jumpiness.
Like why does it have to be like tell me the story? That's why I like the makeup and a mystery. Do you ever hear her? Bailey Sarian?
Yeah, actually, yeah, she has the YouTube channel that does
Yeah.
the makeup and tells the stories.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
she's
live for
good.
that shit. Like I could listen to that when I'm going to sleep for sure. Cause she's telling these stories,
Yeah,
but she's super cute and
yeah,
like
it's super sweet, but
joking
it's like
about it the whole
scary
way.
kind of.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
like, I don't know, I could take this in better. But those like the true crime and stuff like that, like I don't know if it's just like the
some of them get really dark.
yeah.
Also, some of them I like really don't agree. Like, I'll stop listening to people if they like start getting a little, I don't know,
Like if they frame
non-empathetic.
yeah,
Like
if they
toward
frame it the wrong way.
right. So Yeah, I mean, but I listen to a ton of them. I've kind of stopped. I've tapered off of that, and I've been listening to a lot of history podcasts now. But I go to sleep to like literally a guy who has the most amazing voice reading Wikipedia articles. So
One of the SMR, what is
it's
it
just
called? ASMR?
ASMR. Yeah, I can't do ASMR. It freaks me out.
Yeah,
I
same.
don't know.
What is
I'm
it?
like, I don't want to hear rappers and clicking. Like no, it's like somebody eating
That's the
cereal in the morning
opposite.
for me. Yeah, it's like when people eat cereal and crunch too loud in the morning. I'm like, it's the morning. Stop! I can hear you slurping your spoon.
I was not allowed to sit by my sister at the dinner table because I would yell at
Same. That's literally same. To this day. To this day. Yeah. My mom is like, and like me and my little sister talk about it. Like my older sister's just the worst when she eats cereal in the morning. I don't want to be anywhere near it.
Yeah.
Anywhere near it.
Why
It
are
just
you
pisses me off. Like eat like a normal person. You don't need it. Do you need a microphone? Because she should be ASMR podcast.
Dude, your
Yeah.
sister might make a ton of money doing that because apparently people are into it. I don't understand.
Well, I don't know what it is,
It
but the
hurts.
slurping and the crunching, yeah, same. It's like nails on a chalkboard.
It's horrible. It's
Yeah.
okay. So
Yeah.
can you tell the story about how we're summer camp twins? Because I don't think we talked about that yet. And
Okay. Well, yeah, we totally can. Can
and
I
I
push
think
my
it
light?
could help jog my memory because I remember like
That's better. I think I figured
once,
it out.
yeah, it definitely got less
I
bright.
switched it to warm.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
The other one was like, I felt like I was very glowy. I felt like a ghost. I
Well,
was like, woo,
I didn't know what to do with it.
woo.
And I'm using literally, let me
You look amazing. That's why I'm
oh,
overly thinking
well, let
about
me
mine.
know. My cord doesn't work. I was going to show you this dumb lamp. It's like the dumbest lamp. It's like a
I want to see
definitely
it. You should see the dumbest lamp I hid over there. It's that.
Wait, I'm turning it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Do it. Let's see it.
Okay, you see?
Oh my
It's
God, I love it.
like the Pixar lamp.
It literally is. You just one day you just be like tink, 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 and just like
Yeah,
unplugs when you put
dash
it in front of the letter.
it. Dash it off. Oh, now I probably fucked up my frame. It's okay. I don't
That's
care.
okay. You have actually a really nice frame there. I keep overthinking mine.
Oh no, yours
Also, I keep reading my name on your thing because it's correct direction. Don't worry. But
I was
when
gonna
I
say
see my letters like spelled out, so when I get crazy, when I like actually go out and party, people call me Asla, which is just my name backwards. So I keep looking at it and be like, oh, it says Asla. Because I'm used to like the reverse, you know?
yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
I'm like, no, it's spelled right. We're good. We're fine. We're in the right direction.
Well, and I'm always like, I swear I read it all the time and I know it's spelled this way. And I still have to check like 85 times to make sure that I'm not an asshole
Oh,
spelling.
I do the same thing. 100%. Yeah.
Um,
I'm fixing this. I just bumped it. So
also I see this girl at shows sometimes that has been on my show before and she always calls me Alice and I don't know when the time is to tell her.
oh my gosh. There's a guy at the store that it's been calling me that he's been calling me Elise for a year. And I'm like, or Elise or Alicia. It's
Alicia,
just like it's
like,
just like so not my name. And
yeah.
we also have like full ass conversations. And he swipes my card. And then I just said nothing until finally one day they fixed it.
Oh,
Yeah, now he knows my name.
that's wild.
Out of the blue. It was
Someone
like
said it was
Allison
like
at points. Like it just kept like changing. And I just was just like for
what
sure.
happens with the A names because I always get Alicia
Yeah.
and Allison, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
where are you getting this N?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Where did you find that?
That and I get Melissa because I've like when I was like a bartender server, I would practice hi, my name is Alyssa because if
Instead of
I said I'm
I.
Alyssa,
Mhm.
Melissa forever, which at that point I'm just making money. Call me Melissa all night as long as you tip me. Could
Yeah,
give a shit less. But
you're me.
now when I'm like actually talking to people, I'm like, I need to know. They're like, what's your name? And I'm like, oh, it's Alyssa. Like,
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. My bad.
people
And I mumble.
honestly think that I say Melise, and I'm like, is that a name? Is it? I've never met a
I don't
Melise. I guess it doesn't mean that it's not a name, but I feel like it would be a bad name because it would mirror like malice,
yeah,
which is bad.
malice. 100% agree with that. people live up to their names as well.
Yeah,
That's
I'm like,
why
no,
that's why I named my daughter Mars. I was like, God of War, get them all.
that
Yeah,
it's
but like
true. It's
it
true.
is. They live up Melise. Like I've seen like an Emily's, like EM.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Um,
feel like I've seen
but Melise would woof
it.
woof.
Dude, do you want to know what my mother almost named me?
Yes,
Justina.
I feel like we've had this conversation
Like, what
when
the
we first met.
I believe it. We still didn't tell that story.
Yeah. No, we didn't. We keep skipping it. But no, literally, because I was like, my mom was naming me Allison, but she said no because Alice in Wonderland was.
Oh,
She thought people would call me Alice in Wonderland. I was like, that's kind of a compliment.
that's
Not a bad thing. Yeah, not a bad thing. There's literally a huge DJ now called Alice in Wonderland. I could have been famous, mother.
Thanks. Seriously, Alice in Wonderland, not the worst thing that could happen. My initials
No.
were AC, so this kid in middle school called me air conditioning for 3 years.
Hey, it's not that's how bad I tortured my little sister. So
What
because
was
she goes by Trisha Prince. We called her TP when we get mad and called her toilet paper. And then she's like, that's not even my real name, but her real name is Patricia. So we're like, fine, you're PP, which is worse. So there's, youngest problems. I don't know. Although don't challenge me and don't slam your door in my face 10 times. So,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't call you toilet paper.
Are
And
you
she's my best friend
middle?
now.
You're the middle though, then, right?
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
very middle.
Yeah. I just like, you can't win. You're not going to win.
Do it again.
Yeah. I still get that weird voice that says recording in progress. Like Big Brother's yelling at me.
I know it's so weird. It's like, so who else sees this really? Because like sometimes it'll like just take it up into the cloud or whatever, like, oh, we
Yeah.
can save this. You don't need to know.
So have you used Google Meet?
I like one time maybe, but I haven't.
I feel like they're doing better with it. We'll talk about this off this. Yeah.
No, but
And
that
especially for recording and stuff like that. Because you can like do split screen and stuff like that.
ah, I get
Yeah. And yeah, they're like better about like, and they have plugins and stuff like that. Like you can put on like how you do on your browser.
it.
Wow. I have so much to show you. So I have like a plugin called Honey on my browser that
Oh,
anything
my
I type
son
it'll
has told me about honey.
oh, get it. I'm not kidding. Because it scans every coupon that's out there at the time
Yeah.
and gives you the most off of anything you're purchasing.
Wow.
If you're buying anything online.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
But there's a lot of them. But it's also that Google Meet is like has plugins and stuff like that where you can like do it for podcasting and whatnot. Yeah.
I feel like Zoom used to do where it would like switch between the person who's talking. Yeah.
They do if you change your view actually. So if you go to switch to gallery view in the side of it, mine says switch to active speaker now. It's over kind of my where it says Bluetooth, switch camera.
Oh my gosh. No, I'm not seeing any of that. Maybe because I'm on the computer.
It might be on your bottom. So sometimes it'll toggle and like depending on your computer set, it'll like lower it. So if you move your mouse to the side, your things will come up.
Okay.
But
Caption
it's usually just like a little thing and it looks like a grid, like in a circle.
weird. I'm gonna have to figure this out.
And then I can show you another time.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not even seeing it.
Yeah,
But,
and it'll switch. And then that's who it will switch active speaker
yeah.
screen. I keep mine because I like to see other people's faces the whole time. Because otherwise it
Oh
just
yeah,
shows my face.
that's how it is now. But I
Yeah.
did like for like production reasons that it would have
The
the
switch,
camera
yeah.
on me when I'm talking and then on you when you're talking. And now I
Right.
had it like, oh, now that wait, I see it. It's in my little face. Wait. Oh,
Yep. So
and now I feel bad. I'm like, oh.
No, I don't care. Honestly, I love teaching people about stuff like this. It's like one of
Yeah,
my favorite
it's
things.
so helpful for everyone. I don't even know if I'll edit this out because who knew there was this little box of
Yeah,
grid?
and since the update, they've hidden it,
Yeah,
right? So like it keeps getting like in weirder places, and so that's why I was like, they moved my settings for me to be like, it used to be like, okay, make sure your video's working, check your audio, stuff
yeah,
like that. But it's different on the iPad as it is to my computer. And like literally I'm on my iPad and I have like this iMac next to me that I'm like I could be using.
well,
But
yeah.
like I had to like plug it in and like do the whole thing. So I just moved it upstairs. So
It's so wild. And then I still don't know, like, once I have it like that, if it'll record
well,
like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's all one
mhm.
grand experiment. I'm
Yeah.
like,
I
I feel
mean,
like I've done this 31 times and it's still
31 times. It's
time. I'm like,
professional. It
what
takes
in the
10,000. Don't you know? It takes 10,000
10,000
times.
hours, dude, 10,000
I
hours. I'm
know.
like, who has 10,000 hours for anything? I feel like
Well, depending on how long we talk, you might be a professional by the end of this. So,
go on forever, ever and ever.
I was like, speaking of that, I should probably check the time. I have to pick my kid up by 9:30, but we're good. We have an hour.
Okay. I'm like,
Yeah.
shit.
I
Well,
know. I was like, oh
I
shit, what
already
time is it?
we already got booted the one time. Like,
I
I don't know,
know.
definitely getting up there. Well,
Well,
that's
if it
what's
boots us
funny.
again, that'll be like exactly the time I have to go. So
Yeah. And
yeah,
then,
because it's 40
yeah,
minutes now.
yeah,
I
perfect.
have so many things to say. Don't get me into politics of this stuff. Makes me so
So,
mad.
okay, so what I remember of summer camp, I was extremely exhausted and a mess probably when I met you. Is this valid?
Oh, I was too. Yeah, and remember I was fucking pulling a trailer behind my car. I had a
Oh, yeah.
G3 that looked like a grape pulling a giant blueberry. Made 0 sense. I was like, "Here's my paintings." First time live painting. Like, I bought 6 footers. Yeah. That was
And
I
you
guess I wish I would have known.
I know, right? If anyone was there to like tell us when we're starting out, you know what I mean? But unfortunately, it turns out,
Seriously.
like you're just crashing into walls until you figure out where the door.
Literally. Like, I was like, "I'm sorry I brought giant paintings," but they also didn't have a cover for the top of the stage in the gallery at the time, so it kinda worked out because it went up that wall and,
Right.
like, covered that top of that stage.
Yeah.
But then the next year, Steven Teller started running the gallery, which love Steven and
Yeah.
Emily. They're, like, the best people in the world. But anyways, other than that, they when they were accepting people, they made me do the thing in 2016 where I had to, like, get enough votes,
Oh.
because the woman who runs it, I don't know who it is, I forget her name, was like, "She brings too big of paintings." I was like, "But I didn't know." And then I wanted the thing to get back in 2016. And Steven's like, "I told her, like, that it'd be fine."
Her pieces are too big.
Yeah, and I was like, "But also, like, you didn't have anything covering there. If my
Right.
paintings weren't there, it was the entire backstage, and there was a lot of things happening back there that should have been covered." So it kinda worked out.
Right. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. So did they didn't do that to you again though after that, right? Like, okay.
No, I got in after that. I think I'd have to check my Facebook, but to see if I had to ask for votes. I think that was only 2016 because she was like, her paintings are too big. And Steven's like, I tried to tell her no or whatever, that they weren't like, that you would bring like prints and stuff like that, like smaller versions. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. I just didn't know my first year. I just brought my actual 6 foot oil paintings for no reason at all. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, but it worked out and it went really well. It was fun. That was
Yeah.
the year that I forget it was when they were called Cosby Sweater. I forget what they switched their name
Oh
to.
yeah.
When they did the
Those-
entire
no. Uh,
turbo suit.
yeah. I was gonna
Turbo
say
suit. Yeah, no.
the jumpsuit
Haha.
apparatus.
Trivia. Oh, red jumpsuit apparatus. I used to have underwear from them from Warp Tour.
Yes.
I did.
You and Lauren need to hang out. Well, we all need to hang out, but like you're
Wait,
far. Wait,
Lauren
my friend,
Schilber?
no Morrison, but you have a friend
That's
who
what I was like, my best friend's Lauren.
Yeah, that's what was the
I
other
feel like we've
main
been at this too.
thing.
Yeah, we
Alyssa,
share a studio.
Lauren, like it was
Yeah,
very
yeah.
strange at the time.
And
Well,
she's been painting summer camp every year, actually, since I think it was like she just wasn't there my first 2 years.
yeah, because
So
where did she live? Did she live elsewhere?
no, she was Kalamazoo with me. But was a jewelry metalsmith. So she's a metalsmith. But like on paper, with your degree. But she's a painter too, and we shared an art studio in
Okay.
Kalamazoo. Um, and her first year live painting, I believe at summer. Yeah, it was her first year live painting at summer camp. Because normally she just went renegade, would
Yeah.
just like sell her jewelry and stuff on lot. Um, and then she got into that year that I found out I was pregnant.
Dang.
So that was our first year going together. Yeah.
That's so cool.
And now she's just out there
Yeah.
killing it. She just did an installation at stores or at Forest too.
Sick.
Yeah, she did the giving tree and stuff. Is awesome. So she's like a sculpting side of things.
That's
She's
fun.
my calm because I'm like chaos. I'm like organized chaos. I'm like, I know where everything is as long as it's in my right pile.
Dude, it's so funny because it's like your Alyssa and Lauren dynamic is so much like my Allyce and Lauren
Yeah.
dynamic.
Is she your calm?
Yeah, but you're just no. I'm
Oh,
actually,
really?
yeah, that's what's funny is because like
Oh,
you and Lauren like have many like
we're like ding 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 ding. Yeah,
just
we'd be very annoying together.
That'd be hilarious and awesome. But also, I think you might have met in 2015. Like, I vaguely remember because that's what's fucked is that I had already been
So
up for
far.
like 24 hours when I met you because I had been
Yeah.
driving in Colorado.
Well, and same. I was literally like just awake because I pulled an all nighter to get all my shit in a fucking blueberry in a grave.
Yes, we're all like delirious as shit. And then people
Yeah.
start rolling in like, late Wednesday into early Thursday morning.
Yeah.
Like there was a point where we had been drinking whiskey for a minute, and then I was like, I can introduce you to my friends. But I
Yeah,
don't know if that even happened.
I do think that we were drinking whiskey for a minute. I remember that. I just remember I was like so tired, but like you kind of gave me a new life. When I was there, I was like, we were just like standing there randomly and we're like, wait a second, we're wearing the same outfit even almost. It was crazy. And I was like, you kind of look like my mom. It was so weird. And Colin's like, you're not wrong. Like she does. But my mom's beautiful, don't worry.
I'll
And she looks like me. She just has a slightly pointier nose. I just have
yeah, I was
yeah,
just I think only
literally the same.
yeah, only
Yeah.
our really the big difference. Like our eyebrows are
Hmm.
really dark. You had lighter
Yeah, I
hair.
color mine in, but I totally color mine in now. I burnt some shit off spinning fire, so yeah.
You are
Oh man.
you guys need to meet. That's it cracks me up because I'm like, it is like you're kind of drawn. Like, I mean, obviously, like there's the yin and the yang energy, and then there's the yang.
Hmm.
You get a
The
lot
Yangs.
who are similar to you too, right? But there's just
Yeah.
something about the like. There's definitely a balance. It's so
Yeah,
interesting.
there's a balance for sure. It's so interesting to me. I just love people. I'm so yeah. I'm just like I'm like an extroverted introvert where I'm like, don't talk to me when I don't want to talk, but also most of the time I'll over talk most people and I feel really bad. I'm practicing. Yeah. I'm getting better about it. I listen. It's just that me and Lauren, my Lauren can have like we can have like 12 conversations going at once, but all simultaneously talking about different things, but like answering the different questions
Yeah.
and just like keep our thoughts going. And my brain works like way too quickly. And I don't mean to be spazzy about it, but I'm just like ding, 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 ding. And Lauren's very much like that. She's just the silent version.
Right.
So, and then we just bond over anxiety. Fine.
Can't bond over anxiety. What can you bond over, really? I feel like anxiety is the common denominator these days.
Seriously, it's just like, how do you handle it? Yep.
Doing it. We're doing it.
Yeah. I literally had to call her today and be like, am I gonna talk too much? She's like, you're fine. Stop. Calm down. I was like, I'm gonna blabble.
I mean, that is the show. Like at first, so like it was 2020 after George Floyd was murdered, when Bass Nectar was being called out for a bunch of shit, and I'm like,
I have so many things to tell you about that. It's so funny.
well, let's
I
go
have
there.
plans.
Let's go there.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
So we used to go to Bass Nectar all the
Mhm.
time. Like we did Halloween 3 nights every year. Like all the way through. Like literally I was front row. I sat front row pregnant at Forrest in a lawn chair. At Bass Nectar.
I, no judgment.
I know.
Growing
I
up.
know. But that was before all that. But now I'm like, all these artists that put all their work, right, designing. Because it's Bass Actor didn't design shit. And not
Right.
only did he not like give credit to the other artists that should have had credit in the songs, he didn't also give any credit to any of those artists that created all of that merch. That's
Yeah.
fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
So I have a Cricut. I promise this connects.
I have
I'm
one. I
making.
don't know how to work it. You're like,
Oh, I'll teach you. I have a maker. I'm really good at it. Okay. So I want to just like cut out, like, I mean, you could literally just not and just use like heat on vinyl, but I just want to take everybody's fucking Bass Nectar merch and just put pretty X's or like the circle with the
yeah, with the
like no Bass Nectar, because like at the same time, it's like a lot of my clothing that I spend a lot of money on, and I don't, as an artist, don't make a lot of money.
oh, you should do a middle finger silhouette, like over any spot that there's
Over the, or just like a circle with the middle finger
yeah.
crisscrossing it, like that no
Mhm.
sign, like the hazard one, but like have it be like this with a circle,
Yeah.
because it matches his like fucking bass drop
Yeah.
thing, which
Yeah.
also he didn't fucking design, and that
Right.
fucking designer,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Also, it was great to see Grizz slap him across the face 25 times in a set this year at Forest. It was so fun.
What happened? What?
You can watch it live on YouTube. You can watch the entire set on YouTube. Audios, whatever.
Well, yeah.
Go about halfway through. He starts literally dropping like actual Bass Nectar, like sampling Bass Nectar and turning it into like we rode the track, like, and fucking brings out like Mimi Page, brings out all of these people that were never credited on stage. They were standing, singing, rapping, like all of them. And they were just slapping Bass Nectar back. I know. I was literally like, Colin wasn't there that night because now that I'm running my own production thing, I give my management spots to people who are going to run it and do the job and whatnot. It's not for boyfriends, it's not for husbands. Yes. like I will pay you to do the work that you're there to do with. Yes. He sneak in one night. He surprised me, but also he's got gifted an artist band for one night, so that was cool. Nice. But I'm not really a backstage person. It was just so he could like come in. You know, I'm like, why do I watch a show from backstage? It doesn't sound the same. I want to see the production. I like to stand by the sound booth in the lighting, like where they run lighting, because the lighter,
and with the people, like it feels.
And with the people, like
watching
100%
versus being in it with the people.
Right. And that's kind of my whole thing. I was like, I want to see the production that they worked really hard on doing. And the last production group I worked with doing costuming, they used to always like want to be on stage and all that shit. And I'm like, but it sounds terrible. Okay. It sounds horrible. Yeah. It's just like, you just want to be seen up here slapping a bag. Like, that's not fun for me. Like, I want to actually go out and watch the fucking show. So, but there's so much work that goes into it. It's mind blowing. Mind blowing. And like, if you watch the guy running the lights, he looks like he's just like, you know, like he's like dancing with it. It's amazing. Yeah. So like, I want to be there. And yeah, it was Grizz just woof. Like it was rough. I was crying. I was like crying, laughing so hard. I wish it aired. Yeah. And I was like, Colin's gonna be so pissed. He missed us. He's gonna be so mad. And I'm like trying to get recordings. I was like, I can't even record it. Like, I'm just laughing and the entire camera is like, I was like, screw it. And then it ends up being on YouTube. So somebody filmed it or something on a GoPro.
Yeah.
But if you watch about halfway through, he starts slapping bass next to it. He's like, this is my fucking place. Like, he's from Michigan, you know? So he's like, yeah, he's basically like, get the fuck out. You didn't fucking deserve it. Say shit. Don't care. Yeah. It's like that new meme or whatever it is. That's like, try it. Or, you know, it's like, fuck with me. See what happens kind of thing.
Oh
It's like
yeah,
that
fuck
or
around,
whatever.
find out.
Fuck around and find out. Yeah, yeah. It's literally was that.
That's incredible.
It was amazing and it brought on all of the people that were never credited, brought
Yeah.
on everybody and they're all just on. It was amazing. It was so good. Like I was just like, this is what we like. People deserve their fucking credit as an artist. That's what they fucking deserve.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
so cool. Well, because like I was thinking, like it's hard to credit because even I sell merch for the Mishawaka. It's just like a venue up here. It's like the dopest spot ever, but
Yeah.
it's a music venue up here, and
Right.
it like
Wait,
so,
Mishawaka
yeah, I know it's.
in Colorado?
I had to work there because the guy who established the place was out of Mishawaka, Indiana, and I'm from Indiana.
Okay. I was like, that's
I
like
was
throwing me
like,
because where I live now, where I moved, because like, you know, I went from Flint to Kalamazoo and now I'm down in Berrien Springs right now. And Mishawaka is like 20 minutes from me. That's I'm like, what? What are we doing? Why
this is
are we
not
such
weird.
I
was like,
you're like 20 minutes?
Yeah, I win.
What are we doing?
Oh, that would be so cool. I need to hang, but isn't that fun? Like it was named Mishawaka, and I was like,
yeah, that's a
and
good
then
name though. Honestly, it's a great word and it's really fun to say.
it's great. It's the best,
Yeah.
but people say it wrong. It's so funny. Like I don't know.
Yeah, wacka.
Oh, they say the Mish, Misha. Like they say it like with this weird.
Yeah, like they're trying. Yeah, I don't know. I get told I say things weird though all the time. I've been told to talk like a bird because I have those sharp A's and.
Oh yeah,
well, I'm like, that's just my Michigan.
Yeah, that's just that Midwest, yo. Like that's how all of like above Kentucky and Kansas and all that, like above that and below Canada is where
we're all like, yeah,
A, you know, like
I get caught saying A all the time.
The baby talks like he's from Chicago, and none of us do. Like,
I love it.
Colorado, and he'll be like,
Chicago.
Yeah. I'm like, why is he saying it like that? No one here says it like that, you know?
That's so funny. Yeah. Mars is definitely like sounds like me like that too.
Yeah.
She has those sharp A's. We're very annoying. We're both Capricorn and Con Scorpio. So
that was a very Lauren thing to say.
Oh yeah. Oh well.
Because hold on, guess what she is? It's not Capricorn.
Wait, is it like Capricorn, like a Leo?
No, less like a Leo and more like a Pisces.
So a Pisces. Or anything Aquarius?
Gemini.
Okay. I love Geminis.
Yeah.
I literally fuck with Geminis so much, and I'm just like, damn, that makes sense. We're both like kind of like about people.
Yeah, I hate everyone, but you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I hate all people. Also, I'm like, all people talk to me. So.
Well, that's the thing is, like, I really do. I lost the cat. Oh well.
I know. I really want to know what kind of pen you have after this. Too.
Oh yeah.
Is that literally like a nectar collector pen?
Yeah, it's called a terp pen. Oh.
Damn.
And
my nectar collector's over there and I'm just like watching you like shit.
It's so good.
That's awesome.
It's so good. Like you don't and it's not like I don't ever get crazy high off of it. I like, you know what I mean? Like I love getting crazy high when the time allows, but like I'm a mom.
Right.
So and he's
right, exactly.
Dad and his brother right now, and still screaming at me. So obviously I can't get too out of
Right. But that's why I have like the nectar collector I have. It's so nice. I can just like take it as like I want, but that requires the whole torch heating.
yeah.
Wow.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what I
Yeah.
don't do. Like that shit, like in the
Yeah.
beginning when I first learned what dabs were, I was like, looks a little cracky to me. It looks a little
Because
cracky.
literally
Like,
So Colin runs a lab now. That's what he does. Yeah.
cool.
He's a lab director and that's what he does. He makes distillates, he does all of that processing.
Yeah.
That's what he does. So we have that entire top shelf up there, like where Mars can't reach, basically. I was like, I need to find my vape pen died before this because they're like he brings home a bunch of like sample ones and shit like that. I have this tobacco, or not tobacco, whatever, nicotine. But like, I'm like, my dad, where is it? Did you take the orange ones? And he's like, no, there's like an entire shelf of them. And I'm like, okay, which I still forgot to grab. But but like that is like exactly what we need because like he does like low temp, we collect glass.
Yeah.
So like I have want to see my pretty bubbler?
Yeah.
It was custom made for me. I know, by an amazing glass blower that I can't remember his name, so don't judge me. There's just like so many, but like okay, so Colin got it made for me.
Oh, cool. It's like
And it's
opal.
bubbles. Yeah, it's opals and bubble, and it's that CF light reactor, CF something like that reactive. So like it changes colors.
Nifty.
And like this whole part will like look like a bright hot pink and shit like that when it's like in a certain light, depending on the bulb.
Cool.
And yeah,
That's
it's just like really pretty. But like we collect a lot. He has like the original like Mario. From so we collect a lot of Ryan Fit glass. And when Ryan Fit started doing his sandblasting into rigs, Colin got the original Mario one that's like gorgeous. It's just so beautiful. And like, but it's like so much work. Like I
oh,
never use this.
I
Cause I'm
yeah,
like, what? I can't take it anywhere.
right. And I can't
I
have
can't
it
do anything.
out. My child will break that thing like
100%. She's like, what's this bubble? Smash. Like, get popped.
he's not fucking around. Like I don't know how many times a day I say this is why I can't have nice things. Right.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
this thing was literally $35. And
Really?
yeah, and there's no button. Like the
Oh,
one,
that's amazing. It's just a pull.
yeah. And the one
Damn, that works like my heat light. It works like my heat knife. Like shit.
yeah, the
My
battery
heat knife just heats when I hit it. Like I don't.
is why
Yeah.
it's so perfect. Because I don't
Okay.
like,
Well, I'll be hitting up for the link of what that's called.
yeah, I just got it at the head shop down the street, but I'm sure they've got them everywhere. Um,
Well,
I don't
Colin, where
usually
he's
do
working now,
dabs
he's about
because
to
I
wait. What? You go.
I don't, I was just saying I don't usually do dabs because of the torch, but my friend has two.
Exactly. Yeah. Same.
It's so handy. I'm like, because also I don't like the cartridges because they're like wasteful for one.
They're
And
so wasteful. It drives me nuts. So Colin does refillable ones that he can like
that's
refill.
great. That's way better. But like,
Um,
and I feel like they run out. Like, I don't know if they run
that's
out.
the problem though, is like now Breeze is doing them as I jump on the Breeze train because they discontinued my favorite vape. So I've now got
Oh,
a Breeze that kind of tastes like it.
wait, was it the packs? It wasn't the packs, was it?
No, I don't like the oil ones. I don't like the ones that like you put in to like it, I used to like feel like it was like coating my lungs and like I don't like that. I like they were literally Wild Bill's Mr. Vapor brand,
Cool.
but they were like these flat ones that were like they're shaped like squares and you hit the corner of it. So instead of hitting a stick when Mars was little, where it's like she's learning how to use a straw, I didn't want her to have something that she could pick up and just hit.
Yeah,
So I was using those because they were like literally like they look like a card that you keep in your wallet.
right.
Um, and she didn't know, like she was just kind of like whatever, about it because it wasn't like a straw shape.
Yeah.
Um, so they discontinued those, and somehow I don't know, Lost Lands happened to me. I got lost.
Well, I mean, that's how
But
I started
yeah,
smoking cigs again with summer camp last August. I was like, I mean, it was just too hard because I remember I did,
yeah, I'm with you. I still smoke cigs.
you know,
I'm the worst.
and I
Yeah,
quit,
I need to quit.
and I was like, well, I'm doing it.
Yeah, I know.
Weed.
I'm with you. I like
I
keep
swear,
quitting, but it's also my break. You know what I mean? It's like my time to walk away because like nobody around me ever smokes.
yeah,
So I can like literally be like,
like
okay,
actually,
BRB,
yeah.
leave me alone. They're like, I hate the smell. I'm like, perfect. Stay nowhere near me. This is the time I want to walk away. I have like one or two a day tops and I'm like golden.
That's ish where
So
I started smoking more like closer to 5 a day when I started working, like, because my venue
but I'm
job.
doing art. Don't worry.
Yeah,
My favorite thing is if you have a cigarette hanging out of my mouth while I paint. So
yeah, dude. It's like
yeah. I'm
that
like,
is
look at
that
I'm
is art
trash.
in itself.
I'm
Like,
literally trash.
oh, to me, that's like I romanticize it so hard it's stupid. I'm like, that is like what I would imagine an artist doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like immense
Colin
amount of
hates
like
it.
what? I bet. Everyone,
Oh,
I hate.
he's never hit a cigarette in his life.
Oh,
One time he got mad because I found a whole pack of cigs that had it looked like 5 joints, right? In the front of it. And they were Camel Crushes. So I was like, it was a full ass pack of Camel Crushes with 5 joints instead of like the whole front row. And I was like, damn, this is like gold that I
yeah.
found. Best ground score in the entire world. It even better for me, worse for Colin. 3 of those were spliffs. 2 of them
He's
were
like, oh,
actual
that's
joints.
so weird.
And we smoked the first one, it was a joint. Then we hit the second one, and Colin's like, this tastes horrible. This is the shittiest weed ever. And then G hits it and goes, this is a fucking spliff. I go, perfect, it's for me.
Does it taste like
I was
swag?
like, stay the fuck away from my shit. I was like, I just want a whole pack of Camel Crushes. I can have menthol or regular, and I can have a spliff or a joint. Like I have everything I ever need.
This is the best thing.
Yeah.
I would have lost my shit if I would have found that, honestly. I would
I was pumped, and it was fully nobody had even touched it yet. It was like the brand spanking new. Like they had just packed it. They had just snuck that
They
shit into
just
the
smoked
festival.
enough cigs. Just smoked enough cigs to get the dubs in there.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, actually at Lost Lands. So I'm not a huge like bass person. I'm not like I 100% am not into Excision's music. I
Do
hate
you know
it more than
Wooly?
anything.
Do you know
Who?
Wooly?
I've heard.
Woolli?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
I hear
I
it's like Excision, and I work that next weekend, and I don't know what it is. So I'm like,
It was so Excision is the scariest crowd I've ever been in.
no.
First time I saw them was at summer camp when they stole the somehow our golf cart, the artist golf cart or something, ended up at the top to Excision by the bowl. I just caught a catch and release. So somehow it ended up there, and I go up there, and we're like, this is when that huge storm was about to happen, and I like went dead sprinting with a hammer to like fucking between SES 9 and Umphreys to like hammer down the stakes right around the painting area.
Yeah.
This is like Alex and them were there, and so I'm like sprinting with hammers around, and I'm like, okay, where's the golf cart? And they're like, we can't find it. And somehow it got up at the top of the bowl where Mo plays, and like I go up there, and there's just like 2 people fucking on the golf cart. Right. Nobody's around it other than the people fucking, people just filming it. I'm just like, what's happening? Like people are just fighting each other. There's medics everywhere.
What?
That's literally I have not been to a fest like Lost Lands. I will give them their production on point.
Sure.
Kills it. They so Novahan Productions is trying to bring in more of the art aspect to it, but these are all kids who they're not used to that at a festival. Like they're there to rage and hit their face against a fucking rail.
Yeah.
Like that's it. And get fucked up. I have never had to stop so many times to be like, is he okay? Are they okay? One of my performers on Sunday night was leaving. So went to Excision because he was collabing with some, I don't even know the name of who they were doing Sunday night. But it was like a B2B whatever thing. I avoided those crowds no matter what. So she's like, I'm gonna leave my stuff here. I'm gonna run over there with this guy who also wants to go see Sylvan something. So I was like, okay. And then she like goes out there. We get all the stuff, pack everything up because we're like cleaning up green room. Go. And then we get a message like halfway through the night. So she's like, I'm at the medics. And we have barely any signal or
Right.
anything. So like we can't answer or anything. We check medics and medics are like, we haven't seen a girl in like 2 hours. So it came through late.
Yeah.
Right. Apparently, I have a video that is like, I was like, you need to send me this video, which I spin fire. I work with like fire
Sure.
people. Fire safety is very important to me as a performer. Like, I don't perform, but like fire safety is very fucking important.
Absolutely.
So in the middle of a mosh pit, there's 3 guys in this video that run out. They're wearing those plastic, super thin masks that are like from the dollar store, painted like clowns. One of them pulls it up, and there's a couple other guys that are just like pushing the crowd back. 2 guys light a lighter, and this guy spits fire straight forward, huge, in the middle of a mosh pit. And I was like, ugh. You're like, what? Like, one, those masks can melt. Like,
yeah,
you don't
I was
use.
gonna say, or set your face on fire.
No, it doesn't even. It won't even light on fire. That's the worst part. It's worse to use
Oh.
synthetic material because it will literally cause 3rd-degree burns immediately because it melts into your skin.
Ugh.
Right. So they just lift their mask and spit fire straight forward. Also, anybody barreling through that crowd at the time could have walked face first into that.
No.
And they didn't even spit up. They spit straight forward. So just seems like this is the point that I leave. She took the video, left. She's walking out. I'm guessing they kept doing that, right? So the mosh pit expanded and she got knocked down and got a concussion and on her head. And like literally it took her like 16 hours to get home. She was driving back to Connecticut, and like we had to go back and like check on her and like try to find her. And they said, if you can't find her, you have to, like, for us to tell you anything, you have to file a missing persons. And I'm like, Justine smart enough. She would, 1, doesn't have signal. I know that.
Yeah.
2, if all this shit's happening, she's going to be back at camp, which she was, but
Yeah.
like, I can't file a missing persons for somebody like that because the medic tent let her go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just like a whole thing. Like, I just don't do Excision crowds.
Yeah.
So just be ready for a shit show. The best part about having the Ammonite was I didn't really plan this, but it was a happy accident. They were perfect for headbanging.
Oh, yeah,
So if they got up on the rail, yeah, they're on the rail. Like, I
that's
have a video that's it's so ridiculous. But like, that's all they all want to do. Like, it's not like they don't respect the art really. They were sitting on creature, like on all that art, that all those dinosaurs that are beautiful
yeah.
are made from just foam and wire.
Oh, yeah.
So full grown, like 250-pound men are like trying to sit on the shit. And I'm like, get down. Like, you're going to fall through it. Yeah. Like, they have like medics for dinosaurs on also that are like foam fixers. Yeah. It's crazy.
God,
But like,
that,
yeah. So Nova's doing a good job of trying to teach, like,
yeah.
respect the art, respect the artist,
Yeah.
do your thing, respect each other kind of thing. But it's a younger crowd.
Yeah.
They don't really give a shit. And they're not there to care.
Right.
They're there to literally headbang to allegedly bad music. Allegedly bad music. I learned that from listening to podcasts.
Oh God, Alyssa, we only have 2 minutes left. What else we got?
You're
2
right.
minutes. What are we gonna do? You got places to tell people to look at your stuff? Are you gonna start posting regularly?
I'm trying. Okay. I'm the worst at social media. I have the most social media anxiety of anybody I've ever known. I don't know why. I have so many videos made. I literally do video editing. Like, I know how to do all of this shit. And I panic and I post nothing. But I'm getting better. My new production company that I started is Artist Ramble. So follow that. I just bought the domain too. Eventually that will go to something that doesn't say coming soon from Wix. But then so Artist Ramble and then Artzilla Alyssa, if you want to see, that's Artzilla Alyssa is my, what you have in your background. Actually, just take the last word and put it on top of the first word. Not episode though. But yeah, so that's my like painting, all encompassing me profile. That's all my art, because I do murals and all that shit too. So yeah.
You know, you like the giant paintings.
Oh, yeah, that rock wall, that rock climbing wall was so fucking hard. You should have seen the scaffolding I had to rent.
I cannot imagine. I know. I'm like, what? 1 minute? Okay, let's plan a part 2 soon.
Yeah, I know. We like literally just went off on so many tangents. I'm sorry if I messed up how podcasts work and recording and cutting and whatever, because we were on full tangents.
Cut us off. You didn't do anything. The only
it's about to cut us off again. I'm watching the
it's like, goodbye. Say goodbye.
Goodbye. I'll have more stuff soon.
I love you.
Thank
I'm
you.
so glad
I love you.
This and
yes, we should catch up after, like outside of podcast.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
1000%.
Even more. Yeah. Then I can talk more. Talk more shit. All right. I love you.
Really high. Love you too. I'll see you soon.
Bye. Okay, good. Bye.